Hi, guys. It has been a super long time since I've seen you. I'm sorry, I just shook the table you're sitting on. But it has been a while and a lot has happened in my life. A whole lot. Um, we have a kitten. She's not so much of a kitten anymore. Her name is Luna, and well, I would show her to you, but she's clear over there and asleep. And at this point, if she's asleep, y'all, we need to let her sleep because she's 100% kitten right now. And she's crazy. She showed up in our neighborhood and we took her in August. We brought her in August 19th. And my dog did not like her at all. Understandably so, because Cupcake was almost 18. We had to put Cupcake down. It was not that long ago, to be honest, 5, 6 days ago. She she was an older dog. She was a Jack Russell Terrier, purebred. And she was an amazing dog. And we loved her and we miss her terribly. Like we miss her like crazy. Our even with the kitten, our home feels so empty and lifeless without her. So we are definitely at some point soon ish going to be getting another dog from a rescue because it's just it's not the same without a dog in the house. And we're struggling right now without Keiki. There's no replacement for Keiki. We've had many pets over the years that we've said goodbye to. And Keiki was the last for a long time, or so we thought. So we took in Luna. But um, Keiki started having seizures and she had a lot of pain. She had really bad teeth and she was in a lot of pain with them, even with pain meds. And it was just too risky to do any dental work on her at her age. Um, she, like I said, was also having seizures, and she also had really bad arthritis, especially in her back legs. And up till a few weeks ago, she would occasionally run, chase my daughter through the house, pretend to bite her. She was playful still. But the more the seizures, just a minute, guys. Sorry, guys, real life. I'm leaving it in there because, yeah, this is the first time I've ever made a video on this laptop. So I don't know how this is going to go. I tried an editing program, but for some reason, I can't manage to get the videos off my phone onto the laptop to be able to edit. So I need to research that more because, y'all, it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. But so back to Cupcake. She started having seizures. We put her on medication for the pain for her arthritis. She's been on that for a while. That didn't touch the pain with her teeth. Part of the problem is that she then wouldn't eat because it was too painful. And I started cooking for her. And then she would eat, but then she got to where she would only eat certain foods that were not good for her. So we took her to the vet, had him trim her nails, had him check her out, and they said that she had lost a pound since she was there in December, which is a lot for a little Jack Russell. That's a good percentage of her body weight. Um, so we worked on that because y'all, McDonald's puts weight on dogs too. So we ended up having to take her back in because, again, she was having seizures and more of them. And it was getting harder to pull her out of them, especially if we didn't catch it like right when it started. If she was having a seizure and we weren't sure when it started, it was harder to pull her out of it. We were putting honey on her tongue quite a bit to help her come out of it. Talking to her, asking her questions would help her come out of it with the honey. So her sugar basically was going low and she would have seizures. We tried everything. I tried pureeing her food. She really only wanted to eat the meat. She didn't want any carbs. Unless you got her something from McDonald's. She would eat a cheeseburger. Sometimes she would eat the carbs with it. Sometimes she would not. Just depended on her. So we ended up having to put her on seizure medicine. So now she's on gabapentin and Galliprant for pain and phenobarbital for seizures. So the phenobarbital did stop the seizures, but they left her in a pretty medicated state. Kind of like all she did was sleep. And that really, for us, wasn't a good quality of life. When she did move, she would stumble. If she sat, it would be in pain. Sometimes she would fall like into her water dish, hitting her teeth, making it more painful for her. So, with heavy hearts and much discussion, we decided it was time to do the right thing because she just was not going to improve. Given her age, she wasn't. And it would not be right, at least in our opinion, to have her suffer, which she was. To us, she was suffering because she was in so much pain. Her teeth would chatter, even with all that medication. We even tried to buy her like Freshpet. She wouldn't touch it. We ended up giving that to our neighbor for his dog. Now, the cat wanted Freshpet. But of course, it had things for dogs, not cats. So, we said goodbye. It was really, really difficult and very tearful. And honestly, out of all our pets, and we've had a lot that we've had to put down because we had her and the father of their puppies and their 6 puppies, and we had 4 cats that stayed here, 2 cats plus their kittens for a while, and we've had to put down the majority of them. One we found passed away in her sleep. One passed away from a reaction of anesthesia during a surgery when she was 5. We've had a lot of loss, and it's been very difficult. And she's almost kind of like the end of an era. It's a weird feeling around her. Even with Luna, as strange as it is, she doesn't feel like she's ours because we've just had the others literally our whole married life. We've had one or more than one pet, and they just kind of became the family. So Luna here, she's starting to be a little queen bee now. She realized that, Cubby Cake isn't coming back. And now she can go into places that were previously Cubby Cake's places. Her places to lay. Her favorite things to do. So she's pushing her boundaries a little bit, I'd say. But we're all really missing Cakey. That's been really difficult. And she has been the hardest animal that we've had to put down. the hardest before, during, and after. Like, we're really struggling with it. And I think the reason for this is because our daughter, Gabriella, and Cupcake were extremely bonded. I mean, extremely bonded. When we brought Gabby home from the hospital, Cakey tried to take her by the neck, like she would a pup, to raise her for her own. And I had to, let her know, no, I'm the mama here. On this one, this is all me. So they've just been very close Gabby's whole life. And her heartbreak, she was ready to do it long before we were, because she saw her dog hurting, suffering. And we were trying every little thing to help her. Making her food, grinding her food, buying food, getting her 2 different pain pills, taking her to the vet, getting glands expressed, getting antibiotics. We just got to the point where, okay, nothing's really working, and her being a zombie isn't quality of life. She's not ever going to get better. It's only going to get worse from here, and it was time. It was time to let her go. It was hard, but it was time. So, with all that being said, our house feels very empty right now. Very empty. We catch ourselves looking for her. I catch myself telling my daughter, hey, let her out before you go to school. Or did you feed her? Your husband is attempting to reach you on your cellular. Sorry, guys. I feel like I should point out that him and Gabby went grocery shopping, and that's where they are right now. So they're calling me to see what size should I get, how many should I get. Y'all, I wrote out a list. I did. I wrote out a list, and Gabby pretty much knows. Without her, he'd be lost for sure. But I got a message just a minute. Sorry, guys. But she's like his little salvation right now at the store. I couldn't just send him unless it's something that it's for him, or that he just knows, like the Diet Coke. He knows what to get there. But my produce, no, we need her for that. Speaking of which, let's get to what I'm doing. I did do a round of Whole30, but it was a Whole22. I did not reintroduce, which was the whole purpose of doing the Whole30. I was miserable. I was really missing the Diet Coke. And surprisingly, I was missing dairy, like cheese and sour cream especially. I felt better. I lost 22 pounds in 22 days. But don't get excited, guys, because it's been exactly 22 days, and 20 of those pounds have come back on. Okay? Just full disclosure, they've come back on. It's not that I'm eating crazy. I'm not. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the Diet Coke and lack of water, because I've definitely not been drinking the water I was drinking on that, because that's like all I could have. But the way I feel now versus then is huge. Let's talk about how I felt then. I was just basically entering tiger blood, and I started spring cleaning. Didn't get it finished though. I stopped before I got the spring cleaning stopped. That was a mistake. I stopped the day before my last eye injection appointment. The last three appointments except for the very last one. My eye doctor wanted to do laser treatment on my one eye because it was leaking. And he wanted to hold off the first time. He's like, let's just see if it improves. The second time he wanted to do it, and I wanted to hold off because I wanted to try keto or Whole30 and see if that improved it. The third time, when I went back, I didn't need it after doing 22 days of Whole30. I no longer needed it. Now, I did still have to get an injection in my left eye because it just had a little bit of swelling. And there was absolutely no swelling in my right eye, which is really crazy. I don't even know how that's possible, but there was no swelling in that one. So my vision basically stayed the same in both eyes, but I no longer needed the laser treatment. My eyes were no longer leaking. Now, that should have been enough to make me go right back to it, but Diet Coke has a strong hold on me. I would not have said before that I was addicted to Diet Coke. However, now I would say I'm definitely addicted to Diet Coke, and I probably should be weaning myself off of it. I am not at present. My plan after tomorrow, because I'm making a special dinner tomorrow night that I don't make very often. So after that, then I'm going back on keto. Today's Wednesday, Friday. Friday I'm starting keto again, which is why they're at the store. Because they are getting stuff for me to be able to meal prep for me for keto. But tomorrow I am making Swedish meatballs, which in and of itself isn't too bad, but the noodles are. So I've been planning this meal all month. I have literally a whole menu plan, none of which is keto. It's the only one I care about, okay, is the Swedish meatballs. So I want to have that before I start, because, y'all, I'm not making Swedish meatballs and not being tempted. It's just not going to happen. So sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. He wanted to make sure she grabbed the right tomatoes. She did. I'm telling you, this girl knows, and she knows my produce. But the idea is for me to meal prep, and there's no way I would not be tempted with the Swedish meatballs, because we don't have them very often at all. We just don't. It's kind of a special thing around here. So I'm definitely going to do that. But my plan is to start keto on Friday. But if I'm really craving a baked potato, a sweet potato in the summer, if I'm craving watermelon or corn on the cob or something, I'm going to allow myself to do that. But then I'm going right back on keto, like the next meal. Those things are very rare for me to even want or have. But in the summer, I know I'm usually doing keto in the summers, and I'm usually depriving myself of watermelon and corn on the cob. And it's very difficult for me because I like those things. And as often as we have them, I mean, I might maybe have corn on the cob twice in the summer. So it's not a big deal. And watermelon, we have it way more often. However, getting any is a problem because Gabby loves watermelon. Like, really loves watermelon. So getting any of that, good luck. You might get some when you cut it up. After that, you can forget it. So I'm going to try that. I do eventually need to wean myself off the Diet Coke. When I did my first round of Whole30, I thought I would miss the dairy, didn't miss it at all. I had no problem with the Diet Coke. In fact, it was a long time before I started drinking Diet Coke again after the first round because I didn't miss it. But y'all, this last time, every day, I just wanted a Diet Coke. And for 22 days, y'all, I did not have that Diet Coke. But on that 23rd day, it's the first thing I had. Totally addicted. It's not good for me. It's not. I noticed that with the dairy and the Diet Coke, again, I did not reintroduce like I should have. So one or both, but I'm pretty sure the dairy is what is causing my voice to be more like this, the allergies to flare up. I know that the Diet Coke messes more with TMI, but menstrual cramping for me. I don't know what else it could be doing, but I'm sure it isn't good. So it needs to go, but I need to wean myself off. I just do. I'm not going to miss things like pizza. I have good alternatives for those. But I'm definitely going to miss the potatoes. I don't eat a lot of potatoes as it is, but I do occasionally like a baked potato or a sweet potato, which is why I've decided this time I'm not going to consider it a fail if I have those things once in a while. I'm just going to continue on. I am a very all or nothing person. There's no gray area for me. I'm that way with my morals. Either it's right or it's wrong. It's not right sometimes and wrong sometimes. It's either right or wrong. I'm that way with like diet plans. Either I'm on it or I'm off it. I'm not in between it. So I need more balance. I need to allow that gray area so that if I have that sweet potato, I'm not like, well, I had a sweet potato. I guess I'm not keto anymore. Let's have McDonald's. Let's have a Big Mac meal. You know what I'm saying? No, I need to be like, okay, I had that sweet potato. It was good. I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll have another one again in 6 months or so and move on. Like my mind, I struggle with that because I'm so black and white. It's like I'm either there or I'm not there, and anywhere in the middle is not correct. So I'm working on myself, y'all. I'm working on myself. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I am still down overall from my heaviest. I'll try to look it up for you. What's frustrating is I was down so much more just 20 some days ago. I should have just jumped back on, but I did not. I'm still down 22.2 pounds overall from my heaviest, which is great. But it could have been 20 pounds more. It was 20 pounds more. So also since getting off Whole30, when I was on Whole30, my breathing, the huffing, the puffing, the out of breathness was non-existent. Like at all. I could walk from point A to point B and I would not be huffing and puffing. It didn't even take a week for that huffing and puffing to start again after being off Whole30. So I'm 100% positive that something I'm consuming is helping contribute to that, whether it be the Diet Coke or the dairy or any other carbs or processed foods I've had since then. Because Whole30 is a very, very, very clean way of eating. And again, most of the things I don't mind. It's just that Diet Coke and the cheese and the occasional potato, you know? So that's where I'm at. Since I've been off Whole30 or Whole22, I've been eating the normal standard American diet at home. We've eaten out, I would say, less than 5 times in that, what is it, 23, 24-day period since I've been off. So, yeah, it's definitely, I notice a difference in how I feel. I'm tired all the time. I'm not sleeping at night now. I'm sleeping during the day. When I do sleep, it's an hour here and an hour there. It's less than 5 hours, not together, which is not good for me, which explains why I'm always tired. So I am currently pushing myself to do more around the house, to not have my daughter or my husband help as much is my goal. So normally I will have them like change the laundry over. And part of that, y'all, is because I can't reach the bottom of the washer. But now what I'll do is I'll do what I can, and then when it gets to the bottom, I'll have my husband put the rest in. So I'm working on it. I am working on changing things up because it's real easy to say, hey, bring me a glass, bring me a Diet Coke, please, instead of me getting up and going to get it myself. So those are the things I'm working on. And it's one thing if they're up and they're there, but every time, no, that's gotta stop. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on moving more. I'm working on doing some exercises in the house, sitting and standing, marching, walking around in place. I've got a weighted ball. I've got a kettlebell. I've got hand weights. I'm working on those things. I really want to strengthen my legs and my upper body too, but especially my legs. And I want to get my butt back to the gym, even if it's just working on the machines. So that's my goal. I used to love working out, and I still would if I were there. So that's where I'm headed back. So it's going to be keto starting Friday for me. Let me know. Do you want to see videos of what I'm eating? Sometimes I feel like I eat the same things most of the time. So, like, I could be showing you the same meals. Also, if I'm meal prepping, I'm definitely eating the same meals because I'll make the same lunch for 3 to 5 days or 2 and swap them. Same breakfast for 2 to 3 days. So, I don't know. Just let me know. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see because I'm really wanting to ramp up a lot the videos I'm making, and I want to really grow the channel. So I want to grow the channel and not grow me. I'm trying, guys. I'm going to get there. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell. It just notifies you whenever I upload a video. And I hope you all have a very blessed day. I hope you're all doing great. Bye, guys.